Part 76. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 751. Chapter 751. I only care about whether my wife is angry or not. He said, it's more interesting for two people to eat together. What did Miss Shen say to you just now? Why do I feel that you seem to be very impatient? After Mo swallowed the ribs she fed, he said, it's not an important thing. Did you guys have been chatting for a while before I came out? What did she say to you? It's nothing. Chiao Mian didn't want to tell him those things. If he was told that MRSMO opposed her continuing to film and wanted her to quit the entertainment industry, she might become the one who instigated the relationship between their mother and son. It's nothing. Mo obviously didn't believe it. He locked his deep black eyes on her with inquiry, it's really nothing? Baby, I hope you don't hide it from me. If she says something that makes you unhappy, you tell me. It's really nothing. Chiao Mian put another piece of ribs to her mouth. Am I the kind of person who doesn't say anything when I'm wronged? But if you did that to her just now, would she be angry? Mo looked at her, I only care about whether my wife is angry or not. Chiao Mian. This answer is perfect. She wanted to give him a small red flower. Then she rewarded him with a piece of pork ribs. Asterisk. The other side. Shenro listened to the disconnection sound coming from the phone, and her long nails scratched the screen of the phone, making a sharp and harsh sound. The tears in her eyes couldn't help but fall on her face one by one. Chiao Mian. She really hates this woman. I wish she could disappear from this world immediately. Mo had never been so indifferent to her before. But everything changed after Chiao Mian appeared. He was deeply infatuated with that woman. He was so dizzy that there was no one else in his eyes except that woman. She recalled the sweet conversation between the two just now. The man she loved deeply spoke to another woman in such a gentle and doting tone. The sweet words he said were things she had never thought of. She never knew that he could say such sweet and gentle words to women. She had always thought that a man with his personality could never have that kind of side. How could the Mo she knew say sweet words to any woman? But, she heard it with her own ears. Every sentence was heard so clearly. Each of those words was like a sharp knife, stabbing into her heart again and again. It made her heart bleed. But even if her heart was hurt and bleeding, she was already in agony. He will not feel any more pity for her because of this. His soul was completely taken away by the woman beside him. Shenro has always firmly believed that no matter who Mo marries now, no matter how good he is to Chiao Mian now, the woman who will accompany Mo in the future will eventually be her. Chiao Mian is just a passerby. So, she can endure it, or she can wait. As long as the end result is good. But now, she was not so determined, and she suddenly panicked. A feeling of panic that she had never experienced before welled up in her heart. She is not as confident as before. She truly regarded Chiao Mian as a threat. She suddenly realized that if she didn't take some action, this matter would become increasingly out of her control. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 752. Chapter 752. No, ACI's wife can only be me. I am the one who will be by his side in the end. It's me, not Chiao Mian. Asterisk. The next day, Chiao Mian packed up and walked out of the room, and met Nana, who had just walked out of another room. As soon as Nana saw her, her face turned red, and then she greeted her with an unnatural expression, ahem, Sister Mian, good morning. Good morning. Chiao Mian hadn't noticed Nana's uneasiness yet. She covered her lips and yawned, and said lazily, I'm going to go down for breakfast, will you come with us? No, I'll just go get something to eat later. I won't disturb you and your boyfriend like a light bulb. Nana looked at the new red marks on Chiao Mianmian's neck, with an expression on her face that she was hesitant to speak. Well, Sister Mian. Huh, Chiao Mian glanced at her. Nana glanced at her neck again, then walked quickly to her side, leaned into her ear and lowered her voice and said, find something to cover your neck. Otherwise, someone will. It's bad to see. He is an actor after all. It's too conspicuous and ostentatious. Moreover, the outside world doesn't know that Chiao Mian has a boyfriend at all. The company also wanted her to keep it a secret for the time being and not to make it public. These cannot be seen by others. What? Chiao Mian was startled. Nana pointed at her neck. Sister Mian, on your neck. Although as a single who still has her first kiss, she has little experience in these things. But I've never eaten pork and I've seen pigs run away. Chiao Mian was stunned for a few seconds, took out her phone, clicked on the camera and took a picture. When she shined the light on her neck, her fair face turned red instantly. She didn't pay attention to it when she first washed up. That beast Mo Yesi. Knowing that she had to film today, he still caused so much damage to her neck. If it's winter, you can also use a scarf or something to cover it up. But it's summer now. What did she ask him to do? Chiao Mian looked at the obvious red mark on her neck, and the more she looked at it, the angrier she became. Baby, I've packed it up, we can go out. Just as he was getting angry, he saw the culprit slowly walking out of the room. The man was dressed in black clothes and black trousers, with a strong ascetic air from head to toe. His legs wrapped in black trousers were straight and slender, and he was walking towards him at an elegant and slow pace. He lowered his head and was buttoning the cuffs of his shirt. Tie a few knots, and after walking to Chiao Mian, he stretched out his hand in front of her and said in a low voice, baby, tie it for me. Chiao Mian was thinking about the hickey and stared at him with dissatisfaction, without moving. Huh, Mo Yesi raised his eyebrows, as if he was confused. What's wrong? Chiao Mian said nothing and continued to stare at him. Mo Yesi was even more confused. Baby, what's going on? Who made you angry? End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 753. Chapter 753. Baby, what does it have to do with me? He turned his head and glanced at Nana behind him. It's not me. Nana immediately shook her head. Mo Yesi, it's all your fault. Chiao Mian was so angry that she lightly kicked the man in front of her. My fault. Mo Yesi looked away with an innocent look on his face. Baby, what does it have to do with me? He thought about it carefully. He didn't do anything to make her angry this morning. How could it be his fault? Chiao Mian wanted to kick him again. She glared at him angrily. Of course it has something to do with you, how could you? What she almost blurted out when she saw Nana still standing behind them. She bit her lip and glared at him again. Anyway, it's your fault. You're so annoying. Mo Yesi. A woman's heart is like a needle on the seabed. He really didn't expect what he did wrong. Is it because of the kiss just now? But, didn't she also respond to him? This shows that she likes it. Ahem, Sister Mian, Mr. Mo, I'm going to have breakfast first. Sister Mian, I'll go find you when we get to the set later. Nana quickly glanced at Mo Yesi, her cheeks still flushed red. It was so red that it looked like it was bleeding. Mr. Mo, you are so handsome. And those legs are too long, too long. At a glance, the aura of abstinence all over his body was so strong that it almost exploded. No matter how you look at it, he looks extremely stoic. Could it be that this kind of man who looks very abstinent on the surface and doesn't like to be close to women is actually... A slender figure suddenly appeared in Nana's mind. That person always looks very indifferent and has a very low-spirited appearance. It seems as if he has already seen through the world of mortals, cut off his 6 faculties, and has become a heartless and desireless person. She suddenly wondered what it would be like if that person had a woman he liked. His stoicism and lack of sexual desire only manifest in the presence of women he doesn't like. At his core, he is the same as Mr. Mo. In fact, he also has a very enthusiastic and proactive side. What will happen if he becomes enthusiastic? As she thought about it, Nana's face became hotter and hotter, and her heartbeat could not help but speed up. Asterisk. Mo Yesi, look at the good thing you have done. After Nana left, Chiao Mian pointed at her neck and said angrily, "You did so much on my neck, why do you want me to go out today?" Mo Yesi saw the hickeys on her neck, and then he knew the reason for her tantrum. He was silent for a while and then seriously suggested, "Otherwise, you don't want to go to the set today. I'll call Bayusheng and ask for leave." This very serious proposal made Chiao Mian's expression even worse. "Then how many days do you plan to treat me?" Mo Yesi thought about it seriously for a moment, and then said, "It can't be eliminated in one day, 3 days. Just give yourself a holiday and go back with me today. I'll send you here next time." Actually, he did it on purpose. Of course he knew not to leave hickeys on her neck. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 754. Chapter 754. He has his own selfish motives. But he stayed. Moreover, there is still a lot left. He has his own selfish motives. These marks are the marks he put on her body. He chose a place where people could most easily see it and planted these exclusive marks. He wants all the men who covet her to see her. This woman already has a master. If they have any thoughts, they should give them up as soon as possible. 3 days, Chiao Mian was a little nervous. "I've only been on the set for a few days, and you asked me to take 3 days off. Mo Yesi, did you do it on purpose?" She now seriously doubts that this man did it on purpose. Knowing that she was still filming, he still left so many marks on her neck. Moreover, they are all placed in very conspicuous places. She tried to cover it up with her hair, but it didn't work. She felt very angry just thinking about it. "Baby, don't be angry." Of course, Mo Yesi would not admit that he did it on purpose. He stretched out his hand to pull the girl, who was staring at him angrily with her round eyes and swollen face, into his arms. He softened his voice and coaxed, "I'm sorry, last night was I can't help myself. I'll pay attention in the future." "You don't want to take leave, what do you want to do?" Chiao Mian didn't really want to lose her temper with him. Who can be blamed for this? He didn't pay attention. But didn't she forget to remind him last night? Speaking of which, it was because she failed to withstand his temptation and refused too thoroughly, otherwise, she would not have allowed him to succeed. "Mo Yesi, why are you so annoying?" Although it's not entirely his fault, it's mostly his fault. Chiao Mian still felt out of breath, so she reached out and punched his chest twice, hitting his strong and hard muscles with her pink fist. "You're so annoying." Okay, I hate it." Mo Yesi was angry at her, still coaxing her in a good voice, it's my fault that I didn't think carefully." "Baby, you can vent your anger however you want. You can even hit me and scold me. Do as you please, just don't make your body angry. Otherwise, I will feel bad." The more cheerful and angry he was, the more Chiao Mian wanted to do it. She hit his chest several times with her small fist, like a kitten with fried fur, gritting her teeth, and said to him, "Why are your muscles so hard? Is it stuffed with stones? My hands hurt." "Baby, Does your hand hurt? Mo Yesi hooked his lips and caught her little hand, raised it to his lips, and breathed out softly, then let me blow it for you, husband. The warm breath was like a warm wind blowing on the back of Chiao Mianmian's hands. The man blew on the back of her hand and gently rubbed the red spot on the back of her hand. Blowed it for a while, rubbed it for a while, raised his eyes and looked at her lovingly. Does it still hurt? Chiao Mianmian. Who can withstand such an offensive of tenderness? Whatever anger there was in my heart was gone. I have to say that Mo Yesi is really good at coaxing women. Every time under his tender offensive, Chiao Mianmian could only surrender automatically. No matter what you are angry with him for, you will soon be coaxed out of it. Humph, don't think that I will forgive you if you are so attentive. She was still trying to be brave. I don't want him to think she is too coaxing. Baby, how can this be called attentiveness? Mo Yesi let out a low and pleasant laugh from his throat, lowered his head, reached out and gently rubbed her head. I feel sorry for you. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 755. Chapter 755. What's going on between you and your mother? Stop being upset about this matter. He thought for a moment in silence, looked at the conspicuous red marks on her neck, and really suggested this time seriously, is there any cosmetics that I can use to cover it up? If not, you can just go directly to the studio, shoot the scene first, and let the post-production process take care of it for you later. It should be something that can be dealt with. Chiao Mianmian thought for a while, then nodded helplessly. I'll give it a try. These traces will not disappear for a while. After much deliberation, there are only two ways. She planned to use concealer to cover it up, but if it didn't work, she would have to leave it to post-processing. In fact, these traces can be dealt with later. She was not angry because she was worried that it would affect her filming. She didn't want to go to the set with these hickeys. She felt it was embarrassing for others to see these hickeys. If this happened, the entire crew would know what she did last night. Just thinking about it makes me feel so shy and embarrassed. Asterisk. After struggling for almost half an hour, Chiao Mianmian went out. She put a thick layer of concealer on her neck and let her hair down. Almost all the hickeys were covered up. As long as you don't look closely at her neck, it's basically impossible to tell. After breakfast, Mo Yesi sent her to the set. At a red light intersection, as soon as he stopped the car, his cell phone rang at the same time. His mobile phone was placed next to the car seat. When the screen turned on, Chiao Mianmian glanced at it casually and saw that it showed a call from the old lady. When Mo Yesi saw that it was an old lady calling, he immediately picked up the call and called out with a smile, "Grandma." The old lady's smiling voice also came over, "ACI, are you busy now?" "I'm not busy." Mo Yesi turned his head and glanced at Chiao Mianmian, reached out to hold one of her hands, and gently squeezed her palm. "I'm with Mianmian now, and I'm sending her to the crew for filming." Over there, the old lady was silent for a few seconds, then she said with a smile, "Oh, really? Are you still in F City now? When do you plan to go back? Is it okay to leave it at the company? I'm just not here for a day or two. What's the problem?" "I've already explained what needs to be explained. Grandma, don't worry, I know what's going on. I'll go back when everything is settled here." "Well, it's good that you have an idea. You have been sensible since you were a child. There is nothing to worry about. Grandma can rest assured when you do things." Mo Yesi knew that the old lady was not calling him to ask him these questions. He and Mrsmo had a not so pleasant quarrel yesterday. The old lady called today. I'm afraid that the old lady is calling because of Mrsmo. After thinking for a while, he took the initiative to ask, "Grandma, you didn't just call me to ask me these questions, right? Do you have anything else?" The old lady was also a direct person and stopped beating around the bush. What's going on between you and your mother? Why did you block her phone number? Yesterday she told me about this and even cried. Why is it such a serious matter? Moyesi pursed his lips, and after a moment of silence, he said in a calm voice, "It's nothing serious. You know her character. She's just spoiled by her father. Did she come to see you?" She told Grandma. What? Yes, your mother came to see me. The old lady sighed and cried with me. She said that you have grown up now and can't control you anymore, and she doesn't take her seriously anymore. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 756. Chapter 756, What do you think of Myanmar's work? Moyesi couldn't help but sneered. I listen to her in everything and don't have any opinions of my own, so I just take her seriously. If what she wants is such a puppet as her son, then I am indeed not what she wants. Son. ACI, your mother said, you and she quarreled because of Myanmar's work? She hopes that Myan can quit the entertainment industry and stay at home to raise your children and be your good wife. But you don't agree with her. The old lady paused for a few seconds before asking again, what do you think about Myanmar's work? Moyesi frowned, pursed his lips and said nothing. I'm afraid that the main purpose of the old lady's call is still for this matter. When he took Chiao Mian back, he didn't tell the old lady specifically about her work. But he believed that the old lady would definitely find someone to investigate. The old lady has never asked about this before, which means she doesn't mind. Perhaps, even if she minded, she was still willing to respect Chiao Mian, so she did not intend to interfere with her work. But now I suddenly asked. I'm afraid that some of the old lady's thoughts have changed. The reason why she suddenly noticed the change is probably related to the two scandals that Chiao Mian has been involved in recently. The old lady is originally a very traditional woman. She can accept her granddaughter-in-law going to filming, but she absolutely cannot accept that her granddaughter-in-law frequently has scandals with other men. A powerful family like the Mo family values reputation and face more than anything else. If it affects the family's reputation, the old lady will never sit idly by. Thinking of this, Moyesi frowned even more. The old lady is an elder he respects very much. He can be strong with MRSMO, but with the old lady. While thinking, I heard the old lady's voice speak again, what's going on between her and that actor? ACI, I'm not an elder who likes to interfere with younger people. You are not children anymore. You all have your own problems. I think you all know what you should and should not do, so as long as what you do is not extraordinary and does not affect the reputation of our Mo family, I will not bother to intervene. You and your brother are indeed very supportive of our Mo family. You don't need me to worry about you. Originally, I didn't want to care about your wife's affairs. If she likes to film, she can film. Although it is said that the entertainment industry is a big mess, but there are our Mo family protects her, and no one dares to do anything to her. I'm not worried about the chaos in the circle, but it's fine if she wants to film, but what's going on with these scandals? There are still scandals with some men. I believe that girl didn't do anything extraordinary, but it wouldn't be good if the scandal happened too frequently, right? There was no blame in the old lady's words, it was more like she was speaking the truth calmly. She really didn't mean to blame Chiao Mian. Of course Moyesi heard it, so he listened calmly to what the old lady said, and then said in a calm voice, Grandma, when I go back, I will explain these things to you clearly. I'm not a fool, I know everything in my mind. Okay, the old lady was also reasonable and did not continue to ask, then we will wait until you come back. Is your mother's mobile phone number still on your blacklist? If you don't release her, she will have to come to me and cry again. I'm so tired today. I went to bed at 4 o'clock in the morning last night and got up after 9 o'clock in the morning. I went out for a run to do some errands. When I came back in the evening, I still had to type words until now. I feel that my whole body has been hollowed out. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 757. Chapter 757. Don't you feel bad now? Well, I'll let her out in a moment. She is your mother after all, and you are mother and son, the closest people in the world. No matter what she did, her original intention was for your good. She may have used the wrong method, but she had no bad intentions. Grandma, I know. Anyway, let's wait until you come back to talk about everything. After hanging up the phone, Moyesi lowered his eyes and looked at the screen of his phone. After a moment, he locked the screen of his phone and threw it back. Beside Chiao Mian looked at his frown, hesitated for a moment, and asked softly, "Is it because Grandma called you because of my scandal?" Although she didn't hear specifically what Moyesi said to the old lady. But you can also guess a little bit. It must be related to her. And she had just been involved in the scandal not long ago. So, the old lady probably called to inquire because she saw her scandal. Grandma believes in you. Moyesi was afraid that she would have random thoughts, so he immediately said, "She just wants to know what is going on. When I get back, I will explain it to her slowly." Chiao Mian knew how good the old lady was to her. She also knew that the old lady would not believe those scandals easily. But now that I have made this call, I am afraid that even if I believe her, I still have some ideas in my heart. Chiao Mian's heart sank slightly, and she felt a little sad. If MRSMO and others have any thoughts about her and are dissatisfied with her, she won't be too sad. Anyway, she knew from the beginning that MRSMO didn't like her. But the old lady. The old lady was so kind to her before and loved her as much as her own granddaughter. If one day the old lady doesn't like her anymore, she will definitely be sad. Don't think about it. Sensing that her mood had become depressed, Moyesi stretched out his hand to rub her head. "It's not like you don't know how much Grandma likes you. She won't treat you because of such a trivial matter. Opinion. She will not doubt you because of some rumors on the internet. Grandma is a very smart person, and she will make her own judgment." "Is that so?" Chiao Mian looked at him uncertainly. "Grandma really doesn't have any objections to me?" "Really not." Moyesi smoothed her hair and tucked a strand of hair behind her ear. "Do you think Grandma will fall in love with someone casually? She also has to look at people. Since she likes you, it means you are a very good person in her heart. She doesn't doubt her own vision easily." After his comfort, Chiao Mian gradually felt better. "I don't feel so sad anymore." There was a smile on her face. "Well, what you said seems to make sense, so I will believe you." Moyesi couldn't help but chuckle, and gently scratched the end of her nose with his slender fingers. "Don't you feel uncomfortable now?" "Well, it's a little better." "Don't think about it." He was silent for a while, and then said, "I will go back after sending you to the set in a while. I have arranged 2 bodyguards for you. I am not here. With them protecting you, I can rest assured. These 2 people have been with me for many years. They are very skilled and can completely guarantee your safety." Although those fans who followed her yesterday were taken away by the police. However, no one can guarantee whether there will be other fans to follow her. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 758. Chapter 758. Don't move, let me hug you again. He wouldn't feel at ease if he didn't arrange someone around her. Chiao Mian also thought about what he was worried about. So he didn't refuse his arrangement. Moreover, she didn't want him to worry. She nodded and said, "Okay." But you gave me your bodyguard. On your side. Of course I won't just have those two bodyguards. Knowing that she was worried about him, Moyesi felt warm in his heart, and his deep eyes overflowed with softness. Don't worry about me. Even for you, I will protect myself. Meeting his gaze, Chiao Mian couldn't help but indulge in the gentle watercolor under his eyes. Asterisk. Go to the crew. Chiao Mian was pressed into the car by Moyesi and kissed her for a long time before he put her down from the car. She had just gotten out of the car and had not walked a few steps when she heard footsteps approaching from behind. As soon as she turned her head, she was pulled into his arms by the person behind her. Smelling the familiar scent, she raised her head in confusion. Moyesi, why are you? Well. Before she could finish what she wanted to ask, the man clasped her chin and kissed her forcefully and domineeringly. Chiao Mian was forced to bear it while she put her hand on his chest and tried to push him away. This place is the entrance and exit of the crew. Someone will pass by at any time. She doesn't want to be seen kissing a man here. But the more she tried to push him away, the tighter the man's arm tightened around her waist. Well, Moyesi. Chiao Mian struggled. What's wrong with this man? How could it suddenly? She could feel that something was wrong with Moyesi at the moment. This kiss was too strange. But the more she tried to break away from his arms, the more firmly the man imprisoned her. He even bit her lip in a punitive manner. Chiao Mian frowned in pain and couldn't help but panic. There was a creak and a sudden breaking sound came from behind. The wheels scraped against the ground, making a sharp sound. Somebody is coming? Chiao Mian panicked even more. She opened her eyes and pushed the man who seemed to have lost control. She was a little angry, and in desperation, she bit his lip hard. Moyesi groaned in pain, and the hand around her waist finally relaxed a little. Chiao Mian immediately pushed him away. He said angrily, Moyesi, what are you doing? What's wrong with you? The man said nothing. Just walked up to her, stretched out his hand and hugged her into his arms again. As soon as Chiao Mian struggled, his ear was bitten by him. The man bit her pink earlobe and whispered domineeringly, don't move, let me hug you again. Moyesi, you. Chiao Mian was about to ask him what was wrong. When she looked past him and saw Tu Yuli standing not far behind her, she was stunned and swallowed her words. She asked, why did he suddenly become so strange? It turned out to be because he should have seen Tu Yuli early in the morning. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 759. Chapter 759. I was so scared that I didn't dare to come to the set today. So, this jealous person was stimulated, and that's why he acted in the unusual way just now. Did he do it on purpose to show Tu Yuli? Chiao Mian was amused by his approach of declaring sovereignty. Moyesi is a childish man. Could he have been more childish? After knowing why he behaved abnormally, Chiao Mian calmed down and leaned into his arms cooperatively. After realizing that Tu Yuli had thoughts about her, she also felt that this was a good opportunity. Although this approach is a bit naive. But, if Tu Yuli really had any thoughts about her, he should give up his thoughts after seeing this scene. When Chiao Mian saw Tu Yuli behind her, Tu Yuli's eyes also fell on her. Their eyes met in mid-air. After looking at each other for a few seconds, Tu Yuli's handsome face, which usually looked gentle and friendly, darkened, his lips tightened, and his eyes became cold. He pursed his lips and stood motionless. Something seemed to be surging fiercely in his brown eyes, but after a while, the excited emotions in his eyes gradually calmed down. Then he turned around and returned to the car. 1 minute later, the black Bentley with its windows fully raised drove slowly past Xiao Mian, then drifted away until it disappeared around the corner. Mo Yesi slowly let go of his hand. He raised his head and looked in the direction where the black Bentley drove by just now. His deep black eyes narrowed, and after a few seconds, he slowly looked back. The man lowered his deep, dark eyes and looked at the girl in front of him whose lips were red and swollen from his kiss. His long white fingers slowly touched the girl's red and delicate lips, and his eyes showed a deep and strong desire for possession. This woman is his. This life and this life belong only to him. No one else can have any idea about her. Baby, I'm leaving, remember my words, stay away from the man named Tuesday. Asterisk. As soon as Xiao Mian walked into the set, she saw Nana running towards her with excitement. Walking up to her, Nana grabbed her hand and said excitedly, Sister Mian, do you already know? Xiao Mian looked confused, blinked, and asked doubtfully, what do you know? It's about Huang Yilin. Huang Yilin, Xiao Mian was stunned again, what's the matter? Don't you know yet? Nana looked at her in surprise. After a few seconds of silence, the expression on her face became more and more excited. She whispered to her in a low voice, it's Huang Yilin who was exposed. Someone revealed that she worked as a receptionist in a high-end club before her debut. And there are pictures and truth, and many photos of Huang Yilin when she was working in that club were posted. Not only that, but she also exposed various things about how she relied on unspoken rules to get to the position and slept with producers and investors. Moreover, there was also a picture and the truth, and the names of those investors and producers were clearly revealed. You know, most of the producers and investors she slept with were married. And there are still a few investors who still maintain that kind of relationship with her. I heard that once these news broke, then the wives of several investors went to her and told her to give her a good deal. Huang Yilin was so scared that she didn't dare to come to the set today. There's been a huge commotion on Weibo now. Huang Yilin's agency immediately dispatched public relations. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 760. Chapter 760. I think that person is so awesome. If it is said to be defamation, we will file a lawsuit against the Weibo who broke the news. However, the account that broke the news was very new. After Huang Yilin's agency issued a lawyer's letter 1 second ago, she immediately exposed several negative things about her. It feels like it won't stop until Huang Yilin is completely killed. Moreover, Huang Yilin just spent money to withdraw the hot search, and the popularity immediately increased. Even the trolls invited in the comment area were completely covered by another group of trolls. Now, it seems that her agency has also. I have no choice but to watch her dirty stuff trending. Sister Mian, who did you think was the person who exposed the scandal about her? I think that person is so cool. After listening to this, Xiao Mian was stunned for a while before she figured out what was going on. Huang Yilin, was someone exposed a scandal? When it comes to dirty information, as long as someone wants to dig it up, they can definitely dig it out. What artist doesn't have so-called black material? But at the level of Huang Yilin, what ordinary reporters can dig up is only some insignificant black information. It is difficult for anyone to dig out the real dirty information about her. Furthermore, there is basically not enough evidence for the black material from many years ago. Even if someone breaks the news, it will be regarded as a rumor. However, according to what Nana just said, the account that broke the news about Huang Yilin not only collected a lot of real black information about her, but also had conclusive evidence, which is the kind that can be hammered. This is really awesome. This matter also involves so many investors and producers. If it were an ordinary person, even if they had information in hand, they would not dare to reveal it casually. Otherwise, if he is found out later, he will have to shed his skin even if he is dead. The person who broke the news probably also knew about this consequence. However, he still exposed Huang Yilin's dirty information, which shows that he is not afraid at all. Generally, there are two types of situations. One is that the person who broke the news has a deep hatred for Huang Yilin, so he has the mentality of dying together. The other is that the person who broke the news is extremely powerful and is not afraid of investors and producers at all. Qiao Mian thought about it seriously and felt that the latter was more likely. Moreover, she had almost guessed who was behind the leaking account. What should we do today? Qiao Mian clicked on her phone, clicked on WeChat, found Mo Yesi's profile picture, opened the dialog box, and sent him a WeChat message. Mian Buruanmen, did you let people search for Huang Yilin's dirty information and expose it? After sending it via WeChat, Mo Yesi did not reply immediately. She was not in a hurry. After posting, she logged out of WeChat and logged into Weibo to watch the excitement. Sure enough, just as Nana said, as soon as she entered Weibo, she saw that Huang Yilin's dirty information was being discussed everywhere. The official Weibo accounts of major entertainment companies have retweeted it one after another. One click to enter the hot search is the rhythm of national discussion. This is much hotter than the scandal between her and Tu Yuli. After all, the scandal between her and Tu Yuli was not really real at all. Speaking of it, it's just a normal video. That is to say, Tu Yuli's girlfriends and fans are quite overbearing and don't want him to have any physical contact with other female artists, so they exploded and heated up the scandal. But there is no real scandal, it is just a temporary popularity. And it was only because the person with whom she had the scandal was Tu Yuli that she was so popular. Today is a limited time. The whole book is free. Please hurry up and read it. Tomorrow, that is, in the early morning of the 9th, there will be an update of 60,000 words. End of this chapter.